upset me greatly. However, I'm hoping for hammer for them, bombs for the enjoyment of the crowd, and it looks like Uncle is leaving now. So we're about to see in just a moment what exactly these runners find as they get a big 50 in Link's house, some of the savings stashed away in the chest. For those of you joining us for the first time in week 7, what the heck have you been doing for the past 6 weeks? But Link to the Past Randomizer, what it does is it takes our favorite Super NES game and it puts it in a state of randomized items where every item in Hyrule is randomized but completable in a logical progression. And we're about to see what the first item is. It is the Cane of Burna.
So that means they are going to have to really monitor their magic use throughout the rest of the escape sequence.
Absolutely. It definitely takes a lot of budgeting, and great bomb drop here for both runners. They're going to be very happy to see that bomb, so they do not have to come up into that escape once more for those 3 additional items. So I imagine both runners are going to be looking for additional items, additional bomb drops as they go through, so they don't have to buy in Kakariko. But at least with that one, there's a nice insurance policy that they won't have to come back.
That was some really good dodging of those green guards on both of their accounts there. Sometimes those guards can really follow you around there.
Absolutely, they can be very dodgy. And we get a 5 bomb upgrade in the first chest as we take out the first blue guard, and we continue our way through the escape. Both runners doing very well so far, and of course, there will be no runner divergence for quite some time as we continue our way to Zelda's cell.
Yeah, we can definitely see that the first 6 minutes of this match are going to be pretty much neck and neck, same thing that you're always going to see.
All right, we're about to get a view of what's in the second chest here, and it is another key. So it looks like we're going to be having that map later on in the escape sequence, likely in the 3-item drop, or 3-item location back past the sewers or in Sanctuary. All right, well, saiontea is going for, looks like, pot strats on the guard, which I think is a good idea. Both runners are running a little bit low on magic, and they want to save that Cane of Burna for when they hit those rats with the key. So we're about to see hashtag what is in Zelda's chest, and it is just a big 20. So B-Links, as we continue our way through the escape sequence here, what item do you feel that is going to be evading these runners throughout their run today? Because there's always one that makes things a bit difficult for runners.
There always is. You know, it's really, really hard to tell right now because they only have the Cane of Burna, which doesn't really open anything up right now. I'm going to hazard a guess that they're going to be trolled by the fire rod today. But I might change that answer when they get a couple of items.
Ooh, that would absolutely be a real troll item if they did not get the fire rod early on, because that does lock quite a few things and makes life a little bit easier for runners. I'm going to go with Ice Rod because Ice Rod seems to be the item that continually evades runners in a rando. And of course, Ice Rod is one of those items that could literally be anywhere except for on Trinex.
Yeah, Ice Rod can be found pretty much anywhere. The thing is that if it's found almost right away, then chances are Turtle Rock isn't required. But if Turtle Rock is required, then that's a whole other ball game.
Absolutely, getting that ice rod early is definitely a harbinger of doom that Turtle Rock is a pendant dungeon, and of course, will likely be needing to be dipped into. So we'll see what these runners continue to find the escape. Just a piece of heart here, as both runners continue their way on toward the sanctuary for a safe deposit of Princess Zelda.
Yeah, and still not really a whole lot back here. So hopefully the back of escape here, the 3 chests back here, might have something of value. But first, let's Cane of Burna some rats, get that key, and then they'll be able to bomb open this wall on the left.
Well, behind this wall, we have 3 items, and of course, these runners are going to be looking for Dark World access as they go through this early run. And the 3 items we are getting in the back here are a fire rod, so there goes your prediction, and a hammer, and Baba's first shield. So I would say that's a pretty hype back of escape here.
I would have to agree with you with that one. I had, I guess, the opposite of Commentator's Curse there. So clearly they're not being trolled by the fire rod today. Alright, so knowing this information, I'm going to change my answer now to Hookshot.
saiontea skipping that chest, probably with the knowledge that it is going to be the map. I don't often see people skip that chest, but of course with the knowledge that it's probably the map, is worthwhile just to go ahead and skip it. And there we go, sab0tender gets our burrito.
Yummy.
All right, we're going to see what the tree pull is here, and it is, for saiontea, 8 bomb drops. That's going to be really incredibly useful for him as he goes to Kakariko Village, but only a single rupee is dropped from that tree crab, or that bush crab, rather. I don't know my arboreal terms. And then we're going to see what's in Aghanim's ledge. Blue mail. That is something that is upsetting to have to leave behind, unless, of course, Aghanim's required.
There's still a small chance that there is a mail upgrade somewhere else in Hyrule that maybe they'll come across, but otherwise we are still... They might have some difficulties with defense this time around.
Absolutely. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially if we have that green Maldon for most of the seed. But these runners at a 4 and 2 have certainly shown they are no slouches when it comes to execution and successful execution. So we're going to see them heading into the very item-dense location of Kakariko Village. These runners, of course, with the hammer in hand, are looking for a couple more items for that Dark World access, including the Moon Pearl, the gloves, or the Titan's Mitts, of course, would be immediate access to the Dark World as well.
So we got a full heart container, 50 rupees, another full heart container, and a 20. So they just improved their life just a little bit, but nothing for progression. Oh my goodness, never mind. I'll eat my words now. So that was the hook shot. Maybe I am a witch.
It always seems that I'm paired with a witch when I do commentary, so I'm going to say I am a warlock in cahoots with the witches.
Oh my gosh.
All right, well, we have the well here, which is going to have 5 items for our runners. We have 10 arrows. In the back here, we are going to pick up, indeed, for sab0tender, a mirror, which is pretty darn exciting. Then we also have a bee in a bottle, best item in the game, actually second best item, and the red meringue.
That's awesome. The mirror is really helpful for routing once they get Dark World access. Zero out of 10 bottle vendor score, just giving 5 rupees back.
I mean, at least they got a little bit of a tax return on that one. We do have, with the bee in the bottle, though, we do have Sick Kid open to these runners, which is really helpful for routing this early on, because Sick Kid is one of those locations that, if not done early, sometimes can be forgotten by runners. Sick Kid just...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
he thanks you for the B and gives you the 20.
Yeah, Sick Kid emptying out his piggy bank to pay our runners as thanks for their their offering to him. Perhaps there's venom in the bee to cure his, I think it's fake illness.
He's just skipping school.
As a teacher, I'm very against that. All right, let's see what's on the race game. It is just a big 20, so we're going to be going to South Shore now with Mini Moldorm Cave, the Dam, perhaps even Ice Rod Cave and Aegina's Cave, which, I don't know about you, B-Links, but I've seen that hold a lot of value in the past 7 weeks here.
Yeah, Aegina really likes to hold on to something important.
Of course, our favorite octogenarian team of the Aegina Man and Sahasrara, Rala Rala Ding Dong, Sriracha Sauce certainly can hold the value in this game. They've been saving all their lives to set up for such a value.
They're definitely in cahoots. I'm pretty sure they're related.
What makes you say that? It's not as if they were programmed to look exactly the same.
It's just a hunch. Nothing in Southern Swamp here right now. Yeah, just an arrow upgrade and that's it. So we're gonna move along and maybe see if the Mini Moldorm Cave has anything important. But I mean, they're doing pretty well so far. They have Hookshot, they have Fire Rod, Hammer, Mirror. They're looking for gloves to be able to get access to the Dark World at this point. And the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, we definitely need those items. We're going to see if maybe Mini Moldorm Cave or Generous Sky have the required items. We have a 3-bomb, we have a 5-bomb upgrade, we have a big old 20 from Generous Sky, another big old 20, and then a green goo bottle. So it looks as if we have Ice Rod Cave, we have Aegina's Cave, and we also have Sahasrara's hut, and we have Eastern to dip into, as well as our item locations are starting to dwindle down, and I believe Aghanim could still be a possibility at this point.
Yeah, Aghanim could still be a possibility, because I have seen it where the Moon Pearl ends up being on the pyramid.
No map check yet, so we don't know exactly what is required in terms of crystals and pendants. At this point, however, it's not crucial that they look at the map, as there's still some overworld locations to clear out in Sphere 1.
Yeah, before they even get to Aghanim, they would need a cape and a sword upgrade, or just 2 sword upgrades.
Ouch, only some arrows in the Ice Rod Cave here, so we're going to see what sab0tender ends up doing, whether that is going off to Sahasrara, which as he heads eastbound, it looks like that is what he is exactly going to do. But we'll see if there's any runner divergence when saiontea finds his disappointing news in the Ice Rod Cave, unless you're a fan of archery, which then again, it's not disappointing news.
I feel like if there was going to be a route divergence, it would be up to Death Mountain in the dark, but it looks like that's not going to happen. They're both going to go over to Eastern Palace. That's where the breadcrumbs are leading them right now.
Absolutely. So both runners still continuing on a funneled path, essentially, here as the breadcrumbs lead to the back of Sahasrara's cave. And in his closet, he has a big one, piece of heart, and the flute. So I have a feeling that we are headed to Death Mountain after we activate the duck.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Sabo's off to do. He is not playing games. He's not even going to look at Eastern Palace right now. He's going to go straight to Kakariko Village and right up the mountain.
Absolutely agree with this move. If you go into Eastern, you have a possibility of getting your 3 items in there up front, but otherwise, if you're going into the back, you're sequence breaking at this point. We have 5/6 Crystal on Hera, we have a Crystal on Eastern, and I missed what was on Desert Palace.
That was the green pendant. So, Agina is hiding the green pendant, and once you get it, then you can go over back to Sassafras to get whatever he has.
Talk about being in cahoots, having the green pendant so you send it right back to your brother.
Right?
All right, we are all on our feet for the Hyrule National Anthem as the goose is loose, the fowl is on the prow, the duck is amuck, and we have an airline transportation for sab0tender as saiontea actually does go ahead and dip into Eastern Palace. So we have our first runner divergence.
Yep. And I must say, having the flute activated 15 minutes in, this is a really, really interesting setup that we've got going on. We are also already 3 bottles in. We just picked up a bottle of green goo again on Sion's side.
Ooh, we got a death from sab0tender from those falling cabbages and the dead rocks. Unfortunately, that will send him back to either the sanctuary or his house because we did not activate the war point for the old man. Unfortunate, but those dead rocks, they are obnoxious.
They are the epitome of a troll.
As our lovely tracker Lori D. Bunnykins points out, we do have Tower of Hera open to these runners, and with a hammer and a fire source, they can fully clear it, so it wouldn't be a bad idea for sab0tender to do that while he was up here as we continue deeper into Eastern Palace for saiontea. Unfortunately, nothing of value yet, unless you think a big 20 is a nice value.
Yeah, there's definitely something up in Death Mountain. Considering they have the hook shot and the hammer, they can get everywhere up here right now. Oh, wow, okay. So we've got our second red crystal over in Ice Palace. And I saw Misery Mire was the red pendant. I did not catch anything in the north.
I think I was so taken aback by the quick map check, the soon map check in the Dark World that I missed most of everything. So we'll likely get another map check soon enough as saiontea is going ahead and sequence breaking Eastern. And we found our gloves, so that's pretty good.
Oh, okay. I also wanted to do a quick little shout out to the soundtrack there without the Moon Pearl. You don't get to hear that very often. Oh man, so they have to go to the basement here, do some coffee break strats.
Yet again, our fantastic tracker, Lori D. Bunnykins, caught our crystals, and so we have Pod as a crystal, Swamp Palace as the blue pendant, Skullwoods rather, Thieves Town, and Ice Palace and T-Rock are all crystals for these runners as we take a nice, well-deserved beverage break for sab0tender.
So there is nothing of value in Eastern Palace at this point, and it looks like saiontea is now activating their flute. I'm sure that saiontea is feeling comfortable knowing that there was nothing to find in Eastern Palace, so at least now he knows that all that's left is Death Mountain area, and he'll be getting his glove very shortly.
We do have saiontea going ahead and setting up that war point by catching the old man and ushering him back to his luxurious cave home on Death Mountain. And then after these runners likely both take care of the Tower of Hera and its maitre d' troll dorm. I don't know, I just like calling him a maitre d' because that's a fun word. It's French, so they're going to be finding a lot of They're going to be finding a lot of value on the Eastern Death Mountain side as well. And we had a big 300 drop, so those are our 2 items for Tower of Hera, and we'll be likely seeing sab0tender head right to Moldorm.
All right, so we got hammer strats on Moldorm today over on sab0tender's side. This requires 3 hits, a little bit of dodging, and he makes it look like a cakewalk. It really isn't, but this just shows how skilled he is.
And that was an incredibly clean Moldorm fight, and sab0tender at 20 minutes gets his first crystal, so he's in a good pace right now. And so we're likely going to see him exit Tower of Hera, head east, and check out East Death Mountain, and the value that will hold. And at this point, we are still lacking the Moon Pearl, so that is a little bit of a problem for our runners, but perhaps finding it here on Death Mountain will dictate their next moves. Ooh, hey there. There is definitely a sword on the floating island, so that is a thing. I wonder if Sabo will come back for that later on in the seed.
Yeah, it's possible. There are 8 possible locations right now that could contain the Titan's mitts. So if he gets the Titan's mitts right now, then he'll definitely go and get it.
That would be incredibly fortuitous if he found those Titan Smiths, because that would make this routing incredibly proficient, rather efficient. I'm mixing up my efficients, but we do have a cape, so that is that could be either good news or bad news for these runners.
Yeah, that could either mean Aghanim or Bumper Cave. Sometimes there is going to be something found on Bumper Cave.
All right, well, we have 6 items on the way here for these runners, for sab0tender at the very least at this moment. And we're going to see what those 6 items are. We got a big 20 and a 300 rupee drop to start. Of course, we now have Zora money, so I wonder if perhaps that glove might be signaling that as a possibility. Although that is it's a lot way out of the way location, and without having those flippers and without having the Moon Pearl to sequence break into Waterfall Cave, that is a very large time commitment.
Oh, hey! I saw something a little circular there on sab0tender's side. And a book. So he has literacy and pearls.
So he can read the future and a book. Oh wait, no, Moon Pearl doesn't read the future like a crystal ball.
It kind of looks like one, though. It's not too far off. Okay, so Sabo, are you gonna go check out Head Cave right now? Yes? Yes. Okay, so he's gonna go off to the Dark World, check out Head Cave.
If he desires, and that couldn't see it being a strong desire right now, he could go ahead and take on Swamp Palace, though it is a pendant, so I could see that desire being very low at this point.
Yeah, people are not going to want to go into Swamp Palace, especially since it's a normal pendant.
We got an arrow, we got the bloomerang, we got some fivers, we got a heart container and an arrow. So Hype Cave, 0 out of 10. See me after class. Have your parents give me a call. That was an incredibly disappointing performance.
Yep, rated F for F. All right, Saion, let's see. Can you dodge this Moldorm as well as Sabo? Yes. Oh, he's getting a little bit trolled. There we go. Okay. That was good. That was still a very clean fight on saiontea's side.
I like the term gripe cave from our tracker, and rated F for no respect. It's like the Rodney Dangerfield cave.
So Sabo, it looks like he's doing a little bit of overworld. Now, the question is he gonna go up? Okay, he is. Look at that. It's almost like I can read his mind. So he's gonna go up to Catfish, see if Catfish is holding anything important.
Then, of course, he could save and quit. He could go down and hookshot over to Western Dark World. And however, that would be a little bit of an odd routing, unless, of course, you wanted to take care of some of that graveyard stuff on the way to the Village of Outcasts. And however, at the time being, sab0tender is going to the Lake of Ill Omen, which I had no stinking idea what that lake was called until I commented recently. So there it is, everyone. You're welcome.
The name suits it, I think.
All right, well, sab0tender disturbs our favorite aquatic catfish, and he gets a half magic. Is he going to take it? I would. Yep, and he does. Gets that mirror out.
Yeah, I would definitely take it. So he's going to go up and see what is on the ledge, and is also going to see, again, we got another fish to fry over here, too.
I wonder what Zora tastes like if you were to, like, kill a Zora and fry it. Is that too dark for this stream?
A little bit.
Rated MA for mature.
Tastes like life lessons.
Regrets. Tried to go take a swim with Zora. That didn't work out for him. But he's going to get a life lesson, and it is... Ooh! Hey, B-Links, do you want to go on a fetch quest?
I do want to go on a fetch quest. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I know that I have FOMO, and I would love to go on a fetch quest if someone invited me.
What are you going to bring?
I'm going to bring my favorite book of an ancient language that is no longer spoken in a land where a princess was being held captive by a pig that was disguised as a magician, and where a bird shuttles me around.
Alright, I'll bring the shovel.
I suppose that's necessary for digging it up.
saiontea is going to find out the sadness that is Hype Cave.
We have sab0tender going to enter the Dark World here from the north of Kakariko Village Warp Point. Unfortunately, cannot complete Skullwoods without a sword to slash those vines away, despite the fact that real-life physics would allow it to be burned away. But, you know, game logic. So he's going to go ahead and go to the Village of Outcasts first. Well, unless you love bomb upgrades and 50 rupees, that chest game was probably disappointing for you, as I'm sure it was for sab0tender. He's going to continue, however, cleaning out the Village of Outcasts. And he can indeed finish up Thieves Town. He does have all the equipment to do so, so I would not be surprised to see him do that next.
So far, nothing showing up of value that I can see on sab0tender's side. I just saw a quick check of the mirror cave here that Saion is in, and it looks like it was just an arrow upgrade.
Don't know if he checked Stumpy. It looked like he was heading that direction if we haven't missed it. But we do have sab0tender in Thieves Town, where we have 4 unique items to collect from Thieves Town here.
Yeah, saiontea did check Stumpy. It was a piece of heart. Oh, and it looks like sab0tender just got a piece of heart that created a full heart, so he just got a good upgrade there.
And saiontea got Undertaker's favorite big red machine brother, also known as the Cane.
The cane?
Of Samaria.
Oh, and sab0tender just found the Titan's mitts here. So that's huge. So now we have the cane and the Titan's mitts. So both getting some really good values.
Though my favorite coffee is hazelnut, sab0tender found a French vanilla Titan's mitts. Thank you. I will be here all night.
Mwah, mwah.
I don't know that we have seen the stun prize yet, although sab0tender certainly has that ability to give us that. Both runners actually have that ability to show us that. But we are going to have delayed gratification on that front.
Well, I'm not sure if using a bomb counts when they've been stunned. If so, it was a green rupee.
So both these runners do have to be careful in these Dark Worlds dungeons with Green Mail. These enemies hurt. So we do have a little bit of a router divergence. Again, we have saiontea in Skullwoods as sab0tender continues and gets a piece of heart in Thieves Town.
Yeah, I think Sabo is trying to make sure that before it goes into Skullwoods, he could potentially get a sword. So the issue here now with saiontea is that there is not a sword right now to be found.
Of course, historically, Skullwoods has been Value Woods, so I don't disagree with this move. I think if it were me, I would wait as well until I got a sword. So we shall see exactly if this pays off for saiontea, or at the very least, will give him enough information to quick clear Mothula on a second visit. Oh, it looks like the small key is going to be in the big key chest, what does happen sometimes here in Thieves Town. So as sab0tender heads up toward the blind fight with its infamously wonderfully written puns.
Oh my goodness. That's like the highlight of everything, except maybe Ganon's little piece of fact that he does too.
We have saiontea clearing out Graveyard Ledge as sab0tender is clearing out Blind, which many have said, and that it is a scripted fight. It is a script that certainly I am not off book for yet. Finding the best item in the game is saiontea, which is the Swagnet.
That's the only way you can defeat Ganon. So that was a very clean fight on Sabo's side, being rewarded with a crystal and a compass. So he's now got 2 crystals.
Look at that showboat sab0tender activating the Cane of Burna as he finishes up for that last flurry of victory.
He did it for you, Twitch.
Ooh, the single arrow of Evil's Bane. That is the 3rd best item in the game, in my opinion.
You know what? If you are out of arrows, that could save your life. Alright, so sab0tender is going to be very happy to dig up this cane of Samaria.
With those Titan's mitts in hand, sab0tender can do a few overworld checks here. He can take home Jeremiah the Frog to his rightful place in forging whatever item he's going to get. He has Gary's lunchbox, which he can take home to the very hungry mute, and selective communicator. And then he also has Peg Cave to complete as well.
Absolutely. And the Peg Cave, oh my goodness. Peg Cave is coming up right now. So hold on to your hats and frogs.
I'm hoping for a sword for these folks. I'm hoping for a sword in Peg Cave for sab0tender, but I don't know if we're going to get one.
You can't really complain with a little extra health here.
Especially with that green mail in Dark World. I certainly would never complain to get a little extra love from the alternate high roll.
Low roll?
Mid roll. Well, looks like the swordsmiths were actually surgeons because they just gave sab0tender a little bit of heart.
saiontea just picked up the Titan's mitts. And it's gonna continue through the back half of Thieves Town. Sabo has taken the lunchbox on a tour.
It's been a relatively quiet race so far. We have certainly some really great items, but nothing really in rapid succession. So we are continuing our dip into the Dark World. I wonder if sab0tender will, at the very least, read that tablet, the Bombos tablet, on his way dropping off that chest. Ooh, I'd forgotten about this shovel. And only a heart piece, so oh well.
Still a necessary check.
I have to agree with chat. sab0tender is doing a really nice job of routing in these checks, despite getting bodied by the spear chucking guard. He is, I think, is doing a really clean job of having a very efficient routing through high roll. So well done, sab0tender. But a 4-2 contender, I would expect nothing less.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of skill that goes into these games because you're thinking on the spot. You pick up. Oh wow! So you pick up a sword from the lockpicker, and then you just say, "How do I route myself in as best as I possibly can, as fast as I can go?" So wow, that chest was definitely something that is required at this point.
Oh my god. My goodness. That are some flips.
So that means that they need another sword upgrade. So hold on a second.
That would be on the floating island.
They have to go back up to the floating island to get that other sword upgrade. Oh man, I hope that saiontea doesn't get trolled by this this second sword that's in the lunchbox, because sometimes it's hard to route that in. And also, R.I.P. saiontea.
Ooh, yeah, that was tough. But again, green mail in these dungeons can be quite difficult to navigate. sab0tender going ahead and saving, quitting, saying no thank you to after getting his big 20 from the octogenarian brother of Sahasralal Ding Dong / Sriracha Sauce. Looks like he's going for that sword, though.
Yep, he knows exactly where he's got to go.
It's not all bad news for sab0tender going back up to Death Mountain. We certainly have a few items to pick up here, both going into the cave, as well as Hookshot Cave, and we could check the medallion for Turtle Rock. And if we wanted to take a little bit of a risk, oh, no, not really a risk. If we wanted to take another check, we could check Spike Cave as well. So we have quite a few items to behold here on Dark Death Mountain.
Okay, so silvers. Silvers are always nice.
Yeah, finding those silvers is going to be a welcome sight for sab0tender, especially as, for all he knows, we are going to be taking a little bit of a sabbatical on the Master Sword side of things for quite some time.
Okay, so Turtle Rock's entrance requirement is bombos, which is a required item since it is a crystal.
Got big 20 here in the Hookshot Cave to start us out. We got big 300 in Hookshot Cave to continue. Another big 20. And we're going to see what this last item is. And this was Money Love Cave. So sab0tender is likely going to go ahead and pick up that second sword upgrade, which will allow him to also check the Ether Tablet on and get whatever that item is on Death Mountain as well. So this is actually quite going to be quite a lucrative check and routing for sab0tender.
Oh man. Yeah, the Lionel would have definitely completely killed him if he didn't mirror there, so that was a really good dodge.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch on sab0tender's side. Cyan is bringing home Jeremiah the Frog, likely going to be picking up his lunchbox and taking that back as well for a sword, and sab0tender getting 3 blueberries for his trouble checking that Ether Tablet.
I'm sure he's a little peckish by now.
Not doing Spike Cave, though. Wondering if it was just too risky with that low of a heart count, although there is certainly I believe there's a 50-50 chance that one of those circle bushes, the bushes in the circle rather, has a fairy, so interesting. Looks like Sabo's going to go ahead and pick up his flippity-doos over here on the Bombos tablet, which is good. So he'll be able to take a dip in Lake Hylia and also go to Swamp Palace and Ice Palace to take care of some business if he so chooses. saiontea will momentarily be getting his sword, and sab0tender doing the cardinal sin, rather, by releasing the golden bee. How dare you, sab0tender? How dare you?
So it looks like saab0tender's next move is Ice Palace. Definitely a very good option. Never mind, I'll eat my words now. So he's gonna first go up and check Waterfall Cave to see if there's anything important back here. We already know that the ledge was just a regular heart piece. So 50 rupees and 50 rupees. So that sort of gave them a little bit extra back from the Zora shovel that was given to them.
All right, I don't know that we checked. We didn't fake flipper, so we didn't see Hobo, and only a piece of heart on the island. So sab0tender is going to elect to go into Ice Palace. He has everything he needs to complete said palace. Having half magic is just icing on the cake for that particular run, as saiontea checked Agina's cave and is leaving. So I wonder if he's going to go ahead and check if any of the 2 items at Desert Palace are ones that will lead to progression, or he's just going to flute out. So that's that.
I'm sure that he remembers where the second sword is and knows that flippers are the next progression. The seed seems to have been a fairly linear seed so far. Every breadcrumb has sort of led to one area or another. Or not a huge amount of route divergence that I've seen.
Aha, we will also be getting our second Pyramid Fairy Crystal, so I can see exactly why sab0tender has elected to do Ice Palace at this point. A little trouble getting those bombs there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the stuff was in the way there.
Getting a nice double Stelphos kill with that bomb drop there. He's going to pick up his key and likely go ahead and maybe not. Not going to do a bomb jump today.
Yeah, pretty sure it's faster to just go through it vanilla when you have to pick up all the chests on the way.
That's true, and he also has the Gain of Samaria as well, so he's got that added advantage for that last switch in the basement of Ice Palace.
Taking advantage of a key that he picked up to avoid some extra moving around the dungeon here.
It's always nice getting that early key so you can go to the right and get these 3 chests coming up for sab0tender. So that'll be nice for him, as saiontea is going to pick up his second sword. Only a burrito here in Ice Palace, this chest in Ice Palace, as we go up to see what is indeed in this second chest.
Master Sword, not required, but if he so chooses, he'll be able to open up a big key chest.
All right, well, we get an item here. It was a 5, I believe it looked like a 5 arrow drop, so nothing of significance yet, but we will see what the next couple of chests with that big key, what they hold for sab0tender. I believe he has Iced Tea Room. He's got the big key chest. He's got the chest in this room. And we find Bombos. That was a pretty nice find for him.
That is definitely required. So they're looking for the Ice Rod and the bow at this point now.
So, that being found, we absolutely could dip into T-Rock. However, we have no lamp and we have no ice rod, so that would be risky, but it is a possibility. And we'll see what other possibilities are opened up by our continued dip into Ice Palaces. We have saiontea going into Spike Cave.
How much do you want to bet that saiontea is going to pick up the lamp here? Because we had the Cane of Burna right away, so we were able to access this Spike Cave really early. Okay, maybe not. It was a good theory.
I thought that was a pretty sound theory. However, I did miss what sab0tender found in the iced tea room.
Green rupee.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah. So all Sabo has left is whatever Cold Stare is holding.
I believe we have all 3 items in ice for sab0tender at this point, so all he's got left is just to clear out one of the many eyeball-based bosses, or at least eyeball-shaped bosses in A Link to the Past.
So Scion has opted, now that he has a sword, to go and do the back half of Skull Woods. So I'm sure that there has to be something of value back here.
This is going to be a bit of a difficult fight for saiontea. Again, a 4-2 runner, so certainly has shown his worth in terms of execution. But Master Sword Green Mail not having half magic for Mothula is not going to be a super simple fight, but one that I'm sure he can handle as sab0tender grabs his 3rd crystal of the game. And unlocks the ability to go to the Pyramid Fairy, which you may head to before too long. Not a bad move from sab0tender here. He's going to check the medallion requirement for Misery Mire, and then we have the Shed and Checkerboard Cave, so certainly not a bad move on his part if it is open, which it is not. So I'm going to hold any other comments on that.
Hey, Prof.
Yes, B-Links?
Do you like to run?
I believe it's pronounced jogging, and I love it.
Because we just found some boots.
We have Das Boots for sab0tender, which is going to speed things up considerably for him, and it will open up a couple of spots. He has King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks by the Sanctuary. So we'll see how he continues to route here. He certainly can dip into... now he could complete, actually, Desert Palace, though it is a green pendant, but it will yield 2 items plus whatever's on Sahasrahla, and a big 20, which just why not?
Yeah, why not? Oh, so he's going to dip in. This is a good play, actually. Going to dip in, see what these 2 items are. Really fast check on his part, especially since he now has the boots.
Which may have been necessary for this dungeon to begin with, and saiontea takes out Mothula. Hey, B-Links, do we think we might be getting a pet check?
Ooh. We could, actually. Let's do that.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that we could have on our hands a bow on pedestal.
Yeah, that's absolutely possible.
And if bow is on pedestal, then you do not tell saiontea that I even made that suggestion.
It's between us. So there's ether. I make things go triple boom. So that is not the bow.
All right, well, now that we have Ether, we can go into Misery Mire if we chose to do so for sab0tender. He's going back into Desert, as these runners are going to be in the same region of the game at this point. And yes, indeed, the pet dream is dead. I am very, very sorry for your loss, chat.
Alright, so sab0tender grabbed the 2 items out of Desert Palace, so he does not need to go and defeat the land mollas unless he decides that he has to go back and collect the green crystal so that he can green pendant, sorry, so that he can swap that in for whatever Sassafras has. But he is going to go back into Skull Woods, and if I remember correctly, he hasn't touched Skull Woods yet, so he'll just be doing one smooth run right through.
Yes, and he will have half magic at his disposal, unlike saiontea, but saiontea is going to retrace the steps of sab0tender and be very happy that he did, because he's going to find Ether in Desert, which gives the possibility of Misery Mire, especially if it is holding something of value, but still no Lamp. I'm going to call Lamp in Pyramid Fairy at this point. That's where I'm calling Lamp.
Yeah, that is definitely a spot that it could be.
Sion's going to the right here in Desert Palace, going to pick up his Ether medallion, and then we will see what he wants to do in terms of routing, if he wants to indeed finish land mollas for that green pendant for Sahasrarla, or if he opts to mirror out.
Now, I think the only other thing that they would have left behind in Skull Woods is the big key chest. But I didn't count how many items they actually collected.
I believe he got both items in Skull Woods. I had here the shield upgrade. I thought there was a piece of heart, but I may just be seeing things, which is very possible.
Sorry, in Skull Woods or in Desert Palace?
Oh, in Desert Palace, I had I had Ether and a 50, so I think both of those items were also exhausted.
Yeah, so that's fine.
saiontea gonna go ahead and actually clear Desert Palace. I agree with this. I think if a boss is easy, as land mollas is the yielder of the green pendant, and you are here, then why not? It's not a huge time sink. So I agree with this move. It might lead to something incredible in Sahasrarla's family heirloom history, or it might lead to something incredibly disappointing.
We might find out. I'm sure that we won't find out until Sion goes to see what Pod has in store for him. Sabo doing oh my goodness, spin attacks. There we go. Sometimes my brain. Okay, so they both beat their respective bosses at the same time, so that was a really good sync up.
So at this point, sab0tender has 4 crystals, and saiontea has 3 independent. So they are not too far away from one another in terms of a crystal progression, and we really haven't found anything to be super exciting in getting us closer to go mode in a little bit of time. So we shall see exactly what we find, as it looks like saiontea is headed toward perhaps the Sahasrara here. Ooh, big 20 from Sahasrara, right from the Social Security savings. Whoops.
Oh no. Did Scion forget to get the flippers?
Oh, yeah, no, this could be bad. We can fake flipper into Ice Palace, but we cannot fake flipper into Swamp Palace if indeed that is going to hold any progression.
saiontea does know that those flippers are available because I'm pretty sure he did a check. Yeah, he most definitely did a check. I remember him going into Ivan's cave and everything. So he's doing that, but I guess he's gonna go and check out and see what Hobo has in store. Meanwhile, sab0tender is gonna open up the big chest. Maybe all of the items were not.
The bow!
Whoa, what?
Oh, sorry, I just shouted at you all. The bow is on Hobo, which rhymes.
That's
Bow on
amazing.
Hobo. The Bobo.
Wow. Flippers most certainly were giving everybody just big red flashing neon signs. Please, use me.
So to everyone I just woke up with my hobo shouting, you are absolutely welcome. That was consider that your wake-up call, and I will put that on your bill. Wow, this is pretty huge for saiontea. This has got to feel really good. This makes Eastern Palace clearable, though still technically not in logic because we are still lacking the lamp. And this makes Pod clearable as well, again, out of logic without the lamp.
So while saiontea goes through Ice Palace, sab0tender is going to do these checks around Sanctuary area.
All right, well, we're taking care of some of these Northern Dark Hyrule checks. We have the Graveyard Ledge, we have King's Tomb, and we had Bonk Rocks for sab0tender. I'm hoping after that he remembers that indeed Hobo is open to him. And then he will have the bow, and I believe after that our only item left, that's it. The only item left for Go Mode is the Ice Rod, so it is, my prophecy is coming true. My prophecy is coming true. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Oh man. Yeah, this elusive ice rod sometimes can be really, really tricky to find.
We got the carrot Dorito tempered sword. It looks like, was that a Bonk Rocks find?
Oh. Maybe.
Thank you to our fabulous tracker again. Thank you a million times. I'm just going to put a few thank yous in the bank on that one.
All right, so this is the moment we've all been waiting for. sab0tender is going to see what's in the Pyramid Fairy. What's it gonna be? Is the ice rod hiding in there?
I'm calling Lamp. I'm calling it right now. And if I'm wrong, then I'm not calling Lamp. I never called it, and you can't prove that.
Okay. Lamp would be nice. Ice rod would also be nice because it is a nice rod, so I've heard. The Pyramid Fairy of Disappointment.
See, I told you Lamp wasn't here. I said it, and you can't prove that I didn't.
Did you curse it?
I just may have.
Oh, okay, Sabo. Yay. He's gonna go look at Hobo and get his Bohobo. Bohobo? Bohobo? Okay, so if I was in sab0tender's shoes, I would be going to pod, which is exactly what he's doing. This is fantastic routing. So they are hopefully going to be able to clear out pod at this point, clear out Eastern Palace, and then all that is left is Treadle Rock. So hopefully once that happens and all that's still remaining is Ice Rod, maybe they'll just take a chance and hope that they find Ice Rod in Treadle Rock. That is a very, very strong possibility. saiontea just finished up our lovely cold stare. Let's see where he decides to go next.
So all we have left for go mode is Ice Rod, which there it is. That is, and we also have flippers for saiontea, which I'm hoping that he's going to head for relatively soon.
Technically, also the lamp is required, but they probably aren't going to need to use it. They're not going to go out of their way to find it. Oh my goodness. Sabo, are you just... He's just going to rush it and hope for the best here.
Well, sab0tender is no pretender, and he's going to go ahead and prove his worth by doing these dark rooms here, and just take out King Helmasaur right away. So that is about to happen. He does have the Fire Rod, which can light up the more difficult room with the Terrapins, so that will be very helpful to him. Don't know that I've ever seen someone route like this in a pod. I mean, eventually you're going to have to take out Helmasaur King, but if the lamp was in here, this could have made this whole venture just a smidgen easier for him. But Hey, you do use sab0tender. You've made it this far. Obviously, you've made some right moves.
Yep, there's a reason why sab0tender is playing this game and not us. Having a little bit of tricky when getting into this fight here. 4 hearts should be fine.
All right, just a silver arrow to the face will finish off the Helmasaur King, and whoops, oh boy, he's got to be careful. We'll see. Got him.
Yeah, sometimes Helmasaur King can sort of move all over the place, and you don't really know where he's gonna go. Alright, so he was holding the burrito, so let's see. Hopefully sab0tender goes back in, because there are still a number of chests for him to pick up. Right off the bat, my counting is 5 or 6.
I believe pod we have 5, although I'm not. Did he pick up anything on his way to, well, I don't think so. He picked up a couple keys.
He did, yeah. I was just saying there's, I believe 7 chests still. And he's picked up the big key. And he has picked up 2 keys at this point. Learning the hard way that he does not have a key.
He does have 3 extra bombs, though, now, which, yep, that's not going to help him unless he wants to blow the door open. All right, well, saiontea's up on the mountain. He's going to get a heart refill from the old man and flute his way on down to 4. So it looks like he's going to go ahead and enter... nope. Looks like he's going to go ahead and use his shovel to check out the dig spot. And we have the mushroom. Certainly these fetch quests are mushrooming into a bit of a problem for these runners. No, I tried. Indeed, chat pointing out that with the mushroom and the Cane of Samaria, sab0tender can fake powder at the Mad Batter, or Batman, as I like to call him, and many others. So he may hold on to that to do that first before he turns that in.
Oh, that'd be a really good idea. Get 2 birds with one stone, so to speak. Oh, look! So that was another mail upgrade there. So now he is going to have a little bit more defense.
sab0tender doing super well on the sab0tender doing super well in this pod maze. This is an incredibly difficult dark room. It does pick up 10 arrows, and we'll get the big key. I'm sorry, the big chest momentarily.
Lots of blueberries in the pod.
All right, well, logical move. He arrows back. He mirrors back to use his arrows on the Armos Knights as he's going to take care of Eastern. I believe this is sab0tender's first dip in.
It sure is, and I cannot remember if there was an item remaining on the Armorous Knights or not.
So I'm going to change my prediction. Actually, I'm going to make the first prediction because you can't prove that I made the first prediction the first time. I'm going to say Lamp is indeed in Swamp Palace.
I'm gonna say that the Ice Rod is in Swamp Palace.
Well, with the Fire Rod, sab0tender will take care of at least the second dark room in here without any problem. You turn left and there is a torch to be lit, so that won't be much of an issue for him. But with the silver arrow, sab0tender is going to have no issue taking out Armorous Knights. I didn't count the items or write them down, so shame on me. But if indeed there's an item on the Armorous Knights, and it could be our nice rod, but it's certainly not going to be our lamp. That is for sure.
No, definitely not, because the lamp cannot be hid in the dark areas. It's just bad logic. Alright, Armorous Knights, they are going to be going down in 5 seconds. So that was the third item, but it was only a big 20.
All right, well, we have a couple of options here. We have Misery Mire open, at least for some items. We have the Mushroom to turn in. That's an option. We have T-Rock if we want to dip in there and hope for the best. And we have Swamp Palace. So we're going to see, it looks like sab0tender is going to fake Powder, which is an absolutely solid move at this point because it'll allow you to take care of Mad Batter item and then turn in that Mushroom for an item at the Witch's Hut.
Uh-oh. Did he use... Okay, I was gonna say, did he use too much magic? But no, that's it. Okay, Bat, what have you got?
Ooh, just some love.
So now, he's probably gonna turn in the mushroom. So let's see if the witch is holding anything.
All right, will the witch trade a mushroom for an ice rod or a lamp? Time will tell. I bet he's hoping, I bet sab0tender is absolutely hoping that one of those two things is going to be behind this door, and he's going to find. Oh, God. Well, that is supremely disappointing for sab0tender, which is going to send him on another path. And it may be time for a little bit of swamp action.
Nobody likes going into swamp. The swamp life doesn't necessarily choose you.
Well, the good news is, if we're gonna silver lining some of these clouds, we do have 6 items in Swamp Palace, so there is opportunity for some value here. Perhaps it could be a sword upgrade. Perhaps it could be an ice rod. Perhaps it could be a quake for just absolutely no reason other than completionism. And perhaps it could be patter, which is a very nice safety. Just a bomb upgrade for sab0tender, and B-Links, at this point you're looking for one item definitively, perhaps even 2. Do you go left side or do you just go straight through to the back?
So definitely, I'm gonna say that you go through, do a boss rush first, and then do the left side after that.
Yeah, I would agree with that move. I think clearing it out, getting to Argus, and then going back left side if need be later is certainly a decent move, and we'll see here just the burrito for sab0tender. So we still have 5 items remaining, and it looks like he might actually be going ahead to at least get the key from over here, and then perhaps take care of the left side. saiontea is going to be disposing of the Armos Knights very quickly and momentarily, and then left to consider his next move as sab0tender is raising the water level to get to that left side for the 2 items that reside there.
If they reside there, are they comfy?
I mean, at this point, they're darn well comfy because it's 1 hour and 22 minutes and they have been undisturbed. saiontea having the same idea of fake powdering, it looks like, Mad Batter before turning in his mushroom. Going to be disappointed on both counts. And you wonder, as Chad is pointing out, sab0tender did skip Green Pendant, so you wonder if at any given point he's going to go ahead and rethink that move and head back that way. And there she blows. The lamp was in Swamp Palace.
Chances are then, if that was the lamp, then the ice rod is not going to be found here. But that puts Misery Mire into an interesting play, as an interesting choice for play.
Ooh, yeah, that is true. Man, we do have Misery Mire open, so this seed could be stringing our players along to that final ice rod. Man, oh man, I certainly would be frustrated in their shoes at 1 hour and 24, and you're really hunting around for one more item.
Yeah, I'd be a little frustrated for that too. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say that the ice rod is in Turtle Rock. Ooh, is saiontea just gonna go straight to Turtle Rock and hope for the best here?
me tell you something. If Ice Rod is indeed in Turtle Rock, this is going to be huge for saiontea. It's going to be huge. Believe me.
I believe you. Wow. Okay, this is getting a little hype.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is going to be great. The only thing though is that saiontea is still working with a Master Sword, so it could come into play later. Master Sword Ganon versus Tempered Sword Ganon could get ugly. Two spin attacks disposes of Argus quickly and 20 rupees. So this dungeon, other than Lamp, was a giant bust for sab0tender, which could very well be the boon that saiontea has been looking for.
All right, saiontea. I am really, really hoping that the Ice Rod is here. Oh, okay, so sab0tender is hot on his heels. Wow, okay, so he's also gonna go to Turtle Rock hoping that this is where the seed wants him to go.
Boy, oh boy, I hope for their sake this is it, and they don't have to mirror out to go to Misery Mire. If that is the case, I would say right now saiontea has a slight advantage in crystal routing. However, with that Master Sword, sab0tender has got a little bit of an advantage with the Tempered Sword in terms of enemy damage and Ganon killing potential.
Oh my
God. I take that back. I take that right back.
That is really interesting. So there's the 4th sword upgrade, which means that sab0tender is going to have a golden sword.
Well, then at this point, I would say if Trock pays off the Dinosaur Hunter, then saiontea is going to have quite an advantage. All right, well, we have saiontea continuing to clear out Trock, and we'll see what is in the Vanilla Bee Key chest, likely, at this point, as he takes care of that Pogi, takes his key, and goes to that very chest, and we're hoping, for his sake, that it is the Ice Rod. And it is! Big 20. Wrong color, wrong item.
And wrong value.
Of course, the Ice Rod could also be in Mimic Cave, so that is a very big possibility at this point, and be pretty darn exciting. Well, call it Paula Deen, because sab0tender's got butter, and everything is better with butter, if you believe her. However, saiontea is going to go to Mimic Cave, getting that powder first, so that was a really nice find on his behalf. right, Mimic Cave, what do you got? Ooh, right color, wrong item. So we're going to continue our dip into Total Rock. If I were one of these two runners, more specifically saiontea at this point, I would be starting to sweat just a little bit.
Yeah. Do they have enough bombs?
Nah, I mean, 40 is okay, but you really want 45 because really can cause some damage on Ganon with 45 bombs, but on anything under 45 is just useless.
That's some high level right there.
All right, well, saiontea's going to have to do Laser Bridge anyway, for two reasons. One, for a key. Two, for a possible Ice Rod. Going to be operating Darkroom strats here. Of course, runner of this caliber, probably not a big deal, and is going to see what's on Laser Bridge. Hopefully something, something that he wants, like Ice Rod.
Yeah, it looks like he went the wrong way to start out. So now he's gonna have to use some blue goo and start over again. There it is. Yeah, now he's going the right path.
sab0tender gaining on him. He does have the lamp, so he's not going to have to fiddle around with these dark rooms. And he also does have the butter sword. So that might gain him a little time along the way, little by little. So we'll see what happens. But we did get saiontea successfully navigating that room and is going to Laser Bridge. My two laser skips also has half magic and Cane of Burna, which is exactly what he's going to do. He's not fooling around.
Logical. Oh, wow. Okay.
It's go mode!
Yeah. Go mode it is. Logically speaking, the Cane of Burna is allowed for Laser Bridge, correct? Because I know the Mirror Shield is required if you don't have the Cane of Burna.
I believe that anything, Cane of Burna, the Cape, or Riot Shield are in logic for holy moly. Let me see if I can get words out. Are logic for the Laser Bridge. I'm just so excited by the Ice Rod. So excited.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, this is great.
All right, we are going to have a rather quick Trinex fight for saiontea. Opting to go ahead and take care of the Ice Head before disposing of the Fire Head. I wonder if he did that purposefully.
It's hard to get swings in every now and then.
All right, we are nearing the end of the 7th crystal boss for saiontea. Very, very clean kill there. As sab0tender gets his Ice Rod, is in go mode at 1 hour 33 minutes. And now, B-Links, we have a game we like to play here in our community, and it is the big key game in Ganon's Tower. So we're going to go ahead and, as soon as saiontea exits this dungeon, go ahead and start that game. And please get your guesses into chat. If you have donated 250 bits or subscribed to any Speed Gaming channels, you will be eligible to be on our leaderboard. So go ahead and get your guesses in now. What do we think, B-Links, for the key?
I'm going to go with 12.
Going to 14, good old 14. We'll see if either of those pan out or something from one of our fantastic followers and audience members today. As saiontea enters Ganon's Tower, 1 hour and 33 minutes, and sab0tender is going to be very, very close on his heels. A right side, left side difference could be the difference in the win here. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, that golden sword really can make a difference for Trinex.
All right, so the game is now ended, stopped rather, and we are going to see what indeed is Ganon, where indeed Ganon's key is.
All right, there's 2.
just a small key on the torch today, as saiontea is going right side. I'm sorry, left side. I know my directions. I passed kindergarten. So he's going to go left side. He's going to be getting 4 items here in the Skull Kid room. And we'll see what he finds. 5 is just a small key. 4 is just a small key. 5 is a piece of heart. I also can count in addition to directions. 6 is another small key. And 7 is another piece of heart.
Yeah, counting is hard sometimes, so it's okay. Eight was a piece of heart.
Okay, this is a close race. This could come down to, this could come down to anything. This can come down to a Moldorm Fall. This could come down to a lot of things. So we'll see what happens here as these two continue to route through the left-hand side of Ganon's Tower. As we approach, I believe, item 9. If let's make sure we get a confirmation there in the chat. I believe it's item 9.
Yeah, this is item 9.
All right, here we go. 10, nada. 11, we got a riot shield. 12, we got a piece of heart. 13, we got Quake Medallion.
All right, so my dream of it being 12 is done. 14 is still an option for you.
If Bob is indeed the answer to our prayers, Bob's chest rather, then we are in business for 14. If not, we're going to Ice Armos. Could also be in Tile Room. We're going to see what happens.
Now we are seeing execution at its finest. Look at them go. They are on fire right now. All right, Bob's chest.
Ooh, 14 Dream is dead. So we're going down to Ice Armos for 3 more items, and then, man, that Tile Room might come into play.
Oh boy. So are we gonna look at Vanilla Big Key?
Could be, or it could be on the right side after all. So not doing the Dark Magician strats could have been the answer there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Armos on ice is really hard to do.
And it is 15.
Oh man. So that's vanilla.
All right, Bacon 1207. Thank you indeed for guessing at our Big Key Guessing Game, and congratulations on your win. And very fitting name since saiontea does have the Bacon Sword.
And is on his way to make some bacon.
Man, I can go for some bacon right now. All right, Sabo's going to be taking down Ice Armos and getting that big key and rushing his way to the top of Ganon's Tower, where dreams could be coming true or crushed. So we'll see what happens as these two ascend and saiontea is entering the gauntlet.
You gotta be a little fancy on your feet to get through this gauntlet.
So chat's telling me we have about a minute and 14-second difference between these two runners. It is, it's going to be quite a close race between these two, and you're wondering at this point if either of them, of course, I think on a one-on-one race you always feel behind, but I wonder if any of them truly do feel that behind.
I'm sure they feel a little behind.
Okay, not getting just the one cycle there for Landmolus from saiontea, but he does get it on the second cycle. He's going to be going up to the Wizrobe rooms, two really coolly designed rooms for the Canis Samaria. As sab0tender enters his gauntlet, and we'll see if his execution makes up a little bit of time here.
Yeah, definitely takes a lot of practice to get these done optimally.
All right, well, last room of the gauntlet here for sab0tender. No, sorry, second to last room, and saiontea is going to be heading up the stairs to collect his. Well, he doesn't actually need to collect keys. All set for keys. He might want to use that powder on the Bunny Beam and the Anti-Fairy to take a couple fairies, and then he's going to be off to Trolldorm or Moldorm 2. So a clean execution there and a clean fight will put him continue his lead. A fall to Moldorm 2 will eat away at that lead. All right, clean win for saiontea. Moldorm was out for blood. Will he pick up Moldorm's last possession? He will not. He'll say no thank you and leave that to the ages as he makes his way to everybody's favorite geometry-based boss, trigonometry, as I like to call him, where angles matter, and I hope you paid attention in math class.
Oh man. You're not making us study, are you, Professor?
Absolutely not. Math is the bane of my existence, as you saw by my woeful counting before. And hopefully we can count on saiontea to get some doubles and triples here, so he makes quick work of Aghanim.
Absolutely. So there was 2 right there. 1. Another 2. And okay, he needs 1 more hit.
And he gets it.
Yep. Excellent. So Aghanim 2 is gone and done. All that's left now is to go against the original Ganon himself.
The OG, where the G stands for Ganon and the O stands for I don't know what else. I just got the G part, so give me a break.
The O stands for O.
Oh, Ganon.
Oh, Ganon.
Quick kill on Moldorm 2 for sab0tender as Ganon regales us with a song by Sting and the Police. What a great band. What a great singer. And he's taking out Ganon with those spin strats, hopefully to get to that phase 2.
sab0tender is hot on his heels. Let's see if he has some good trigonometry with this one.
Always got to find the hypotenuse as we get our first double. We are on phase 3 for saiontea, not taking any chances, going to down that potion. And the RNG on the warps for Ganon are going to be the same for both runners, so that is good news. Oh, just missing double for sab0tender there. So barring any catastrophic events on saiontea's side, this looks like it may be his race to lose. Ganon not making this easy. You got a lot of warps going on, and he's going to pull out those silver arrows for the last phase of this fight. Indeed, he did find them in the Dark World, and he's going to use them deftly to take out Ganon. And nice torch glitch. Holy moly. saiontea is doing a great job and getting a great pattern for Ganon. And there it is, the final arrow shot for saiontea. As soon as he crosses that threshold, we are going to announce his speed racing TV time, which is, the audience anticipates, the silence falls over the crowd. The official speed racing time is 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 42 seconds. GG to saiontea as he advances to the bracket stages for the Link to the Past 2018 Randomizer Standard Mode Tournament.
Fantastic. Good game for saiontea. This is a very, very close match between the two of them. sab0tender is not too far away. He's only got a few more arrows to go.
All right, let's give our energies to sab0tender. He gets a nice torch glitch there. I believe he even got a silverless hit on him again in there. It sounded like it. He's gonna get a hug by that bat. So that was not a friendly hug. All right, and we have 1, 2, and there we go for sab0tender. He takes down the big pig, and as soon as he crosses the threshold, we will go ahead and announce his speed racing TV time. Fantastic finish, sab0tender, to your tournament with a speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG to both of these runners, putting on a fantastic show this evening. We're going to pull them both in for an interview as long as they would like to do so in just a moment. All right, we got saiontea in the waiting room. We're just waiting to see if sab0tender would like to come in as well. And then we will pull them both in for their end of match interview, give them a second to catch their breath. That was a really exciting match. Once we got that ice rod, that play in Turtle Rocket, things really got fantastically interesting. And with these runners in their pretty clean execution up Ganon's Tower, it was a really close race, separating the two runners only by about a minute and change.
Yeah, there was definitely a very, very close race between the two runners.
All right, we are joined by saiontea. saiontea, GG on your win and advancement to the bracket stage.
Thanks, yeah, GG.
How are you feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good. Yeah, I guess I made the right choices.
Yeah, getting that gamble there for the ice rod, that was a breathtaking decision that you made.
Yeah, I just figured that I didn't want to do swamp. I knew where the spliffers were, and I just gamble on T-Rock. If it doesn't work out, I've lost anyway.
One thing that certainly worked out in your favor, saiontea, is that sab0tender did make a dip into Swamp Palace looking for that ice rod, and unfortunately, it just didn't come up for him and put him a little bit behind, and going into T-Rock was indeed the answer.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? I don't feel like doing swamp, so I'll just sequence break to Ice Palace and see what was there, because that might have given me a better indication of what might have been in swamp.
Yeah, the only thing that you missed that was in swamp was on the left side was the lamp.
I figured the lamp would be in Maya or swamp, so I was okay with dark room, so I just went, yeah, just go.
Yeah, we were wondering if maybe once the lamp was found, that maybe Misery Mire would have the ice rod. But both of you made the same right decision to go right up to Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Another hallmark moment for you, saiontea, was when you went to, before sab0tender did, you went to Hobo to get your hobo. And that was a pretty big, I can't take credit for that, that's chat's. So, but you got a fantastically important item there, a critical item into completing the game, so well done.
Yeah, when I was doing the fake flippers, I was just going to check. I decided to go to Sora, but once I found my bow, I went, I'll just do Ice Palace right now and see what was in there.
saiontea, was there anything in this run that, had you done it a second time, you would have done any differently, or do you feel pretty comfortable with how you routed this time around?
This time around, I felt pretty comfortable. I was wondering at the start if I did miss out on the map in the sanctuary, so I was going, was that the map in the last chest? And that was on my mind for a bit, but yeah, I guess it was the map.
Yes, indeed, that was the map that you had skipped over. So nothing of value there. So you made a lot of great plays, and really it turned up great. And hey, even better, you didn't have to even step foot into Misery Mire.
Yeah. Yeah, I found the ether and I went, no, I'm not doing my right now.
I'm going to go ahead and pull in sab0tender here so we can congratulate him on a fantastic run as well and ask him a few questions.
Okay.
sab0tender, GG on a fantastic close of your tournament experience. Your routing and was pristine. It was something that I definitely remarked on quite a few times during the stream, as did B-Links.
Hey, everybody. Thank you. First off, GG's to my opponent, saiontea. Excellent job. Good luck in the brackets.
Yeah, thanks. And GG to you.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I had the SRTV up for my entire run, except for going into the Ganon fight. I thought, I'm not going to look at this. And I hadn't seen the done yet. And then when I clicked on done, I realized that that Scion had finished while I was in the fight, which was terrible.
Yeah, definitely was so close. 2 minutes between the two of you. Absolutely fantastic routing, fantastic execution.
Thanks. Man, so I guess, Scion, did you dip into Swamp Palace?
No, I did not. I know what the flippers were. I just went, I'm not going to get those unless I really need them.
See, I'm a big fan of a Swamp Palace play, and I talk about it all the time, so I'm going to live and die by the Swamp Palace. That was, I guess, my undoing in this run.
Yeah, the Swamp Palace giveth and the Swamp Palace taketh away. And it was unfortunate that it didn't really turn up much. Of course, it did have a lamp, which was nice, but you both are, I'm sure, pretty facile at doing your dark room, so it wasn't what you had hoped for.
No, yeah, what a goofy spot for the lamp to be, for sure. I was a little annoyed that Hobo had the bow. I put that off for a little while, and then I realized that, I could have had this ages ago. That was one of the first moments where I thought, maybe I'm a little bit behind.
We did notice that saiontea did go ahead and jump into Hobo, and it was a pretty exciting moment. But, I mean, you weren't so far behind to get that bow and to continue your journey onward. And having it in Hobo, of course, puts you in good proximity to the dungeons for which it's required. So certainly it was a very close race up into the very end, and I think the only difference between the two of you that cost a little bit of time was that Swamp Palace dip, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes, because it was a full clear. I did the whole thing, so yeah. That's a shame.
Other than that Swamp Palace dip, sab0tender, is there anything that you feel that you would have done differently from this run?
I don't think there's much I would have done differently. I felt like I was a little all over the place. I would get an item, and then I'd kind of be like, I don't know, led along by it a little bit, and I was kind of bouncing around. But I feel like I grouped all of my checks together pretty well. I don't think I could have done it too much better. So I think it really was, just one dungeon gamble that didn't really pay off. But maybe I wouldn't have done the desert. I felt really dumb about going into Desert Palace. Like, I thought, oh, there's 2 items in there, maybe I'll pick them up real quick, and of course they were nothing. So that was one thing that I probably wouldn't do again.
0 out of 10, do not do Desert Palace again?
Yeah, definitely.
Interestingly enough, sab0tender, if I remember correctly, and believe me, most of the time I don't, saiontea actually finished Desert and brought over the green pendant as a Hasrula to a very disappointing Big 20 gift from him.
Yeah, that was my big concern, was that being the green pendant, that Sahasrara would have like the ice rod. And that was not the case, thankfully. But yeah, it was definitely on my mind as I was running, that's probably why I thought to start Desert. And then when I got both items out of it, I thought, okay, I'll just leave the Sahasrara check.
Well, B-Links, I have run out of questions to ask these incredibly talented runners. I'm sure that they will love to have a moment to take a deep breath and reflect on their past 7 weeks. Are there any last words from the runners? First of all, are there any questions from B-Links? And if not, are there any last thoughts from our runners as we move forward for one of us? And as sab0tender continues his fantastic behind-the-scenes work, I do want to give him a shout-out for that on this tournament.
Thank you.
I don't have any other questions for the runners.
Sion, you got anything?
No, just thanks for commentating, and it's been, really great 7 weeks, and I get to continue in the bracket stages.
Yes, good luck in the bracket, saiontea.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, I just want to give a shout outs to you guys, B-Links and the Profane Gamer, for doing commentary. Lori Bunnykins on tracking, thanks for that. And I guess, yeah, thanks. It's been a blast. I kind of thought that I might have a chance at making brackets, but I knew that when I drew Sion, he and I are I think we're pretty close in skill, but I've seen him in a couple of races and on some of the weeklies and stuff. And, I feel like I was in tough. And so GG's to him. Good luck in brackets. And thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Also, we do have a few other races that are coming up, so take a look at some of the other speed gaming channels and you'll be sure to find a race of A Link to the Past. And don't forget to take a look at the runners to see what else they might be doing on their respective channels as well. Thank you so much, Prof Gamer, for the wonderful commentary together.
Absolutely, B-Links. It was a pleasure to not only do commentary for these well-celebrated runners in this community and also very active members in the community, but to also do it with you on a wonderful Friday night. And as B-Link said, there's plenty of action going on in the world of Randomizer. We will be starting within moments on Link to the Past Randomizer 4, Fricker 22 versus ACMLM, and then at 9:30 we have another one on Speed Gaming 2, Unfit versus Swerve. So certainly go check those out. Again, I want to echo what the two runners have said and thank our tracker, Lori D. Bunnykins. And I'd like to thank the entire group over at Speed Gaming and thank you, audience and chat, for sticking around with us this evening. And we certainly hope to see you in future races as we will be entering the bracket stages to this 2018 Standard Mode Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament here on one of the 6 speed gaming channels, or one of the 4 Link to the Past Randomizer channels. Give those a follow our runners, follow our tracker, and if you'd love to, follow B-Links and follow me, and have a fantastic night and have a great weekend.